All right, Coach, so let's start talking about last week at Concord. It was a great win for you guys. First time in a long time over them.
Yeah, it's been 7 years since we've beaten them, and we really challenged our defense to play well early in the game and our offense to be efficient throughout, and we were able to put together an extremely good game defensively. We started out the game pretty good offensively, but in the second half we're really disappointed the way we played. So it's something that we could build on offensively, and we got a tough challenge on our hands. West Lib's one of the better 0-2 teams in the country right now. With a lot of weapons, with a really good quarterback coming back, a very strong defensive line, and it's going to be a challenge to go up there on Thursday night, first home game for them, and come away with a victory.
Last week when you and I spoke, you said how important ball control would be and keeping the ball out of Novak's hands against Concord. It seems like you did a pretty good job with that. What did you think as far as your execution, just hanging onto the ball and grinding out first downs?
Yeah, there in the first half we had our first fumble, and they give them the ball back. We were probably driving to score there as well after being up 7. And we stress turnovers on defense, and when you give the ball away, it obviously changes momentum. And at that point in the game, I thought we had a lot of momentum going into that drive, so I thought that killed us. But then for us to control the ball for 37 minutes through the game, even though we weren't putting a lot of points up in the second half, just having the ball and, like you said, keeping it out of his hands was pretty productive for us and something that we had worked on all week. And our defense played well. I think we helped them a little bit offensively with that, keeping the ball. But when they were out there, they were flying around making some plays.
After a slow week 1, Fabian had a great game 2. How much did it help your offense when he can produce like that opens up some other things?
I think that we have people around him now that people are going to kind of realize they can't really key on him a whole lot because other guys are going to get open as well. And I think Saturday was a good example of that. I think that after the state game, I think Concord prepared for us a little bit different than they had previously when it was just Fabian out there in the slot. Now you got to worry about Lawrence and Dre on the other side and Brandon still on the same side. And we put him in positions to make plays. Coop did a pretty good job getting the ball spread it out all over the field a little bit. And Fabian's Fabian. When he has a chance to make a play, he's going to make a play.
Speaking of Brandon, he caught a wide open touchdown. It was called back for a penalty. He had 18 of them to 3, I think.
Yeah.
How much? What do you have to do to clean those up? Because when you're not up 28 to nothing at the end of the game, those could really come back.
Yeah, I mean, this week's a good example. West Lib's the least penalized team in the conference, and we're the most. So we know that's going to be an issue. We killed ourselves, the second half with a lot of penalties, and we did it a little bit in the West Virginia State game as well. For us, we want our guys to be aggressive. We want them to play hard. We just have to be smarter. We have to, stop doing the dumb personal foul penalties, the late hits, and just be smarter and under control a little bit more. And other than harping on it and disciplining them in practice, there's not a whole lot you can do. It's either you have to do it or you just can't play. So we're not quite to that point yet, but it's definitely something that we are concerned with and we've worked on this past week.
I used to have a coach who used to always say that he was all right with errors of commission rather than errors of omission.
Right.
Which do you think all your penalties were that game?
A lot of, other than three or four of them, most of them were playing penalties. You had a holding, you had a pass interference, you had, a block in the back. We had a penalty for a kid's helmet coming off and him continuing to play. So there's things we can definitely clean up, the mental mistakes of the personal fouls, but then there's other ones that you have to kind of teach off of it and not necessarily make it a negative thing, but get them to understand where the bad in that effort is.
Now, taking this momentum and going into West Liberty, what challenges does a short week propose?
Well, with a team like West Lib, who has a quarterback who can do many different things, that puts a lot of stress on you defensively to begin with. You have to prepare for them differently than you do anybody else. And like I said before, their defensive line and some of the things they do defensively can create some problems and issues for you. You have to be consistent. You have to be efficient in what you do. And the short week in those aspects are tough. You don't have a lot of time to rep things over and over and over. You have to pretty much go through it and really try to teach it to your guys the first time and hope they get it. And that's where we're at right now through the week. other than the lack of time for us as coaches, the mental aspect of it for our players is a challenge.
Does playing on, you have a live stream, playing under the lights Thursday night, does that add any extra enthusiasm that maybe will make up for some of the lack of preparation, you think?
Well, I hope so, because it's their first home game. And like you said, it's a Thursday night game. It's probably going to be a pretty good little atmosphere. There'll be a lot of people there. They're 0-2 looking for a win. They're in a very similar spot as we were last year at this time. And we expect Coach Walla to have his guys ready, and they're going to come out and play hard. We got to be ready to go up there and do the same.
Do you think your guys have proven enough so far for this to qualify as a trap game? Or is it it's definitely too early in the season, I would expect?
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, we got a long way to go, and we don't build anybody up more than the next guy, and we don't take anybody lighter than the guy before. We just go in week by week. Each team's going to present their own issues and problems, and we have to prepare for it just like anybody else. This will be a very, very big week for us. Like you said, coming off a short week, coming off a pretty good victory, and it may be a chance for us to really figure out where we're at mentally and physically right now at this point in the year.
Building off preparation a little bit, you got a good quarterback coming up from West Liberty, but you've played two darn good quarterbacks so far. Yeah. How does facing such great quarterback competition in the first two games, how is that going to pay off? That these guys aren't seeing anything new as far as the talent under center.
Well, I think they see a pretty good quarterback every day in practice with Coop. I think that's prepared them a good bit. But this guy's different. The first two weren't scramble guys. They weren't guys that were going to break the pocket and hurt you. And this kid is. I mean, Dakota's very, very talented with his feet. He's a leader. He's a competitor. He's not, he's going to make plays that he shouldn't make because of that. So, like I said, it's just it's a different element and a different issue that you have to prepare for.
Do you think your boys are ready to go and move to 0-3? Or 3 now? Sorry.
Well, I think we will be on Thursday night. I don't think we're quite there yet. I think that we'll be ready to go come showtime on Thursday.
All right. Anything else you have for me, Coach?
That's it, man.
All right.